We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man will go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I won't always smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't roll my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hate know me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got...
Nobody knows why liars lie. Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. It's God's side and the other side. Country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, Uber bitch, and look like Mr. Potato Head.
I didn't want to be a movie star.
No, you couldn't be a movie star. Ricky Smiley can't act, cause Ricky Smiley can't act. Why is he in a dress again? He didn't be wanting to Barbie, and you gotta tell him no. Sid ain't got no special, you remember? Eve ain't got no special, you remember? Ricky ain't got no special, you remember? Sir, I have 12 comedy specials. P. Diddy or whoever you is, TVJ, 20 of them. I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. Rubble on top of rubble, and I'll still be bombing. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall.
All right, that's one of my favorite remixes. Please pay attention. All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, Brand Slayer TV said that never gets old, Queen. I love it, okay? All right, so everyone please get the likes up, please like and share. All right, don't forget to double check and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you haven't been receiving notifications. Remember, you can always find the links to the videos. You don't have to keep scrolling and scrolling because sometimes YouTube conveniently hides them. You can go to the YouTube community tab and also on my Twitter to find the links to all the broadcasts. Okay, once again, for the newcomers, I go live every day, Monday through Friday, and occasionally on the weekends. All right, so let's get into it. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. It doesn't cost you a thing, honey. Okay? Don't forget to vote for Dr. Shiva. All right, the only one worthy of being on the ballot. Please pay attention. With that all being said, I forgot to show you all something. We'll get into that in a second. All right, hello, T. Randall, Claudette, Brandster TV. All right, Tiana is in the house. All right, and so with that all being said, Ron, the truth, I haven't seen you in a minute. Okay, Queen Amoni Hewitt is here. All right, lights up, everyone. Let's get ready to get into it. Deronda, Miss Lucilia, Ben Cephas in the house. Okay, Tracy. Shout out to all of my loyal royals. Y'all know I love me some you. So let's go ahead and get it started. First, let me start this video of Drake. Somebody called themselves clowning for Drake. Can't y'all just leave him alone? Can't we all just get along? The lights up.
Right. I heard you like him young.
Get out the way, man. Get out the way.
Get me out the way, homie. You a lame too. Hey Drake, you on the phone with an A minor. Let's do it.
This is all so nefarious. You see what Drake has been relegated to go through? Do you all see what this poor man has been relegated to go through? Drake's catching it everywhere. He's got his fans, his own fans at his concerts, singing not like us, chanting not like us, just going in on him, no matter which way he turns. It's all so sad. This is the death of Drake's career. Now, I told you all there's no coming back. Drake is a culture vulture, and he's been exposed. All right, and let me tell you guys something. I saw a clip. I saw an old clip that didn't age well where Drake was on an episode of Saturday Night Live. And then they were asking him about previous charges in the skit. And he said that there was something about him, dealing with a minor. Yeah, that definitely didn't age well, like I told y'all. So anyway, Drake is not part of the culture, not of the culture, not from the culture. Okay, in fact, he is a culture vulture. Please pay attention. So he's getting called out. It's really sad at the end of the day. Not. Anyway, let me continue. So first things first, let's talk about Trump. Let's go ahead and get this story out of the way. Because after today, I'm tired of talking about this Trump mess. I mean, it's all juicy and nefarious, but at the end of the day, some shady stuff's going on, is all I'm saying. So now it has been brought to my attention that the Trump shooter was in a BlackRock ad. Thomas Matthew Crooks appeared in a 2022 BlackRock ad, as they say. So let's get into it. Let me cue this real quick, beloveds. Okay, let me share my screen. Claudette Queen, I saw that video last night. Very suspicious. Honey, this whole debacle is suspicious, honey. It is all suspicious. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we got to keep our heads on the swivel. Okay? Because they're clearly up to something very nefarious. Here we go.
An attempt on former President Donald Trump at his rally last night in Pennsylvania. The former president is recovering. He is said to be doing well. We're also learning new details on the man who died, Corey Compatore, and the two victims still in critical condition. Compatore was described as a girl dad, a firefighter, and the best among us. His wife said that he jumped on top of his family when the shots fired, protecting them. Pennsylvania police have also identified those two rally goers who were critically injured. The 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Copenhaver. They're both currently listed in stable condition. And President Biden offered his prayers for those victims.
Don't nobody need to hear what Biden had to say. Now, I just wanted you all to see who the victim was with that. But let me just say this. Like up, everyone, please like and share it. Let's talk about it. Because here's the thing. Now, I don't know if you all noticed this or not, but do y'all notice how, hold on. Okay, did you all notice how when the gunshots rang out, you had some people duck, some people screamed, but what you didn't see anybody do, what you didn't see anybody in that crowd do is run. Did y'all see anybody run? Did y'all see anybody take off and head for the hills like black folk do when we even think we hear a gunshot? It could be firecrackers. It could be popcorn popping. And if we think that we heard a gunshot, we are out of there so quick. All right? We are out of there so quick. I didn't see nary a person run. See, here's the thing. White folk haven't caught on to it yet. White folk, God bless them, they haven't caught on to it yet. You see, what they're in the habit of doing, and I know this to be true, what they're in the habit of doing when they hear or see signs of danger, they go to investigate. What's that? Bob, what was that? Did you hear that? Sounded like gunshots. Let's go see. No, let's go see. Now let's go see. Let's get the hell up out of here, Ray and Pookie. That's black folk. Okay, we can see you running and you don't even have to tell us why, nor do we have to even know why you're running. We're just going to run too. But white folk always want to investigate, pulling out cell phones and call the police. Wait a minute, what's going on there? I'm sorry, ma'am. Let's go. Okay. Mommy said curiosity killed the cat. That's why they made that up. They're the ones who made that saying up, curiosity killed the cat. That comes from them, from being nosy, being so curious, and then sometimes just getting taken up out of here, sent to the spiritual realm. Black people know to run at the very thoughts, at the very hints, at the very notion of danger. Gunshots. I'm not looking to see anything about where they came from or who's putting them out there. I don't care. Bullets don't have anyone's names on them last I checked. So I just had to show that because I didn't see anybody running. I just saw people being nosy, as per usual, trying to see and figure out what's going on. And one lady, and let's not forget the one lady who was standing there with her camera recording. Lady, you're not concerned about catching a stray? Oh, hell no, said facts. We are Usain Bolt. Exactly. Okay? Honey, I'm Shakur Richards, so when I see something afoot, please pay attention. Okay, so anyway, let me continue. So it goes on to say that Thomas Matthew Crooks, the 20-year-old gunman who opened fire at a Saturday rally for former President Donald Trump, once appeared in an advertisement for investment firm BlackRock, according to the company. Now, the ad was produced in 2022, and it was filmed at Bethel Park High School, where Crooks was a student at the time. BlackRock filmed the spot. They filmed the spot, part of the series aimed at teachers managing their retirement assets in a classroom led by a real teacher and which featured real students. Now, Crook was one of those students, according to BlackRock. This is what they told CBS Money Watch. He was not paid, nor was he hired by the company as an actor. In 2022, we ran an ad featuring a teacher from Bethel BlackRock, in which several unpaid students briefly appeared in the background, including Thomas Matthew Crooks. All right, this is what they say. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, also condemned the violence that took place at the Trump rally over the weekend. They say the assassination attempt on former President Trump is abhorrent. We're thankful former President Trump wasn't seriously injured, and thinking about all the innocent bystanders and victims of this awful act, especially the person who was killed. Okay, the company added that it condemns political violence of any kind. Now, the Secret Service fatally shot Crooks, whose motive for opening fire remains unknown. The FBI is still investigating the shooting as an assassination attempt. I mean, y'all don't find that suspicious or convenient? Y'all don't find that suspicious that he was in that advertisement for BlackRock? I just have questions. Because here's what they say about BlackRock, for those of you who don't know. Hold on. With $5 trillion in assets under its control, BlackRock is the largest corporation of its kind in the world. In recent years, the company has been seeking to burnish its image by urging the companies it funds to take into account the concerns of communities in which they operate, including showing leadership on environmental, social, and governance matters. Now, among BlackRock's own efforts in this regard have been the creation of 2 gun-free investment funds and support for a shareholder resolution of faith-based organizations that would force gun maker Sturm Ruger to do a report that takes account the risks that are posed by its activities as it steps toward promoting greater gun safety. Now it goes, I'm not going to read all of this. Now, the weapons companies supported by BlackRock are also on the leading edge of the Pentagon's dangerous and unnecessary $1.2 trillion nuclear weapons buildup, which aims to create a new generation of nuclear bombers, ballistic missile submarines, launched missiles, and all of this. Okay, and so goes on to say that at a time when the United Nations has taken the historic step of creating a treaty banning nuclear weapons from the face of the earth, and the Trump administration is demanding that North Korea roll back its nuclear weapons program, the last thing the world needs is more nuclear warheads and more ways to deliver them. The only way to protect the world from nuclear weapons is to get rid of them altogether. Buying more just increases the chances that they will be used again one day with devastating and possibly world-ending consequences. So which is it? Is BlackRock fueling and funding war and the nuclear arms race, or promoting social responsibility? Okay, it's not possible to do both at the same time, so which is it? William D. Hertong is the director of the Arms and Security Project at the Center of International Policy, and the author of the book titled Prophets of War, Lockheed Martin and the Making of Military Industrial Complex. Okay, so, well, I'm going to tell you like this. I've always heard that they fund wars. Okay, and at the same time they fund wars, that they preach about social responsibility, which in fact is a whole contradiction as far as I'm concerned. All right, so that all being said, like stuff, everyone please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now they did pull the ad once it came out that, you know, this young man was supposed to be the shooter. They say BlackRock pulled the ad. Investment giant BlackRock is pulling an ad that included Thomas Crooks, the gunman who shot at Donald Trump. Okay, so, and they went on to explain how he ended up in the ad, which, like I said, that sounds like a very big coincidence. Another thing is that BlackRock has been accused of undermining. Hold on, let me get rid of these pop-ups. They've been accused of basically undermining Americans. It says Americans are unwittingly funding blacklisted Chinese companies, according to a congressional panel. The Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party of the U.S. House of Representatives, sent letters to BlackRock CEO Larry Fink and MSCI CEO Henry Fernandez, notifying both parties that it is investing their investments in certain Chinese companies. Okay, please pay attention. They say our review has shown that as a direct result of decisions made by MSCI, these Americans are now unwittingly funding PRC companies that develop and build weapons for the People's Liberation Army. Okay, and then goes on to say by sending massive amounts of American money to companies linked to the Chinese military and human rights abuses. The letter says that BlackRock and MSCI are exacerbating the already significant national security threats and undermining American values. Undermining American values. I just want you all to pay attention. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention. So, yeah, they're nefarious as far as I'm concerned. Now, it says the committee said that it found that BlackRock had invested more than $429 million across 5 funds into Chinese companies that act directly against the interests of the United States. They also said that they identified at least 40 companies listed on the MSCI indexes that are designated on governmental red flag list. The majority of our clients' investments in China are through index funds, and we are one of the 16 asset managers currently offering U.S. index funds invested in Chinese companies. Now, this is what BlackRock said in the statement that they made. With all investments in China and markets around the world, BlackRock complies with all applicable U.S. Government laws. We will continue engaging with the Select Committee directly on the issues raised. Now, MSCI told CNN that it complies with all U.S. laws and is currently reviewing the committee's requests for information. Tensions between Beijing and Washington have been on the rise as the world's 2 largest economies clash over issues ranging from trade policy to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of this, but I just find it interesting. And then they're going to talk about how the committee launched an official investigation last month into U.S. venture capital companies that help fund Chinese artificial intelligence and semiconductor efforts. But this investigation broadens the scope of the committee's probe significantly. BlackRock has over $9 trillion under management, and millions of Americans invest their retirement savings in the firm's funds. MSCI has over $13 trillion benchmarked to its products. Now, the committee has asked both firms to answer a series of questions about their investments in the flag companies by August the 14th. Gallagher says he will subpoena the executives who do not cooperate with the committee's investigations. And the true scale of investment in these companies, they said in their letters, is likely much larger than what they have been flagged so far. Congressional committee's actions were first reported by the Wall Street Journal. So I just want you all to pay attention. This is who he was in an ad for. All right? These people are clearly doing things against American interests. And then with all this money, now here's the thing that's going on. People are investing their money in this company, and then they're taking that money. You know how the bank takes your money when you have it in the bank, right? And then that's why some banks want you to let them know if you have to take out large sums of money. They want to know like 3 days in advance and whatnot, because they're lending your money out, okay? And they're getting interest for themselves and all of that. They're loaning your money out. And so this is what they're doing. They're unwittingly having Americans invest their money with China to help them. Just want y'all to pay attention. For nefarious reasons, nonetheless. Okay, so anyway, like I said, convenient or coincidence that this young man supposedly was tied to them, I don't know. But what I do know is I don't believe that cockamamie story that they told about him getting up on that roof with a whole gun and with that rifle and nobody seeing him. Okay, that young man was allowed to come in there for a reason. He was allowed to come there for a reason, okay? That's what happened. So anyway, could be a victim of MK Ultra, who knows? But clearly a scapegoat, in my opinion.
in my opinion, clearly a scapegoat. Okay, you already know what I think. So anyway, let's talk about this. Oh, and one more thing. After the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, well, now Biden has come out and decided to go ahead. This is breaking news. It was just reported 3 hours ago. He has decided to go ahead and allow Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to have Secret Service protection. Because remember, they didn't want to give it to him at first. Okay, so they didn't want to give it to him at first. But if you're a viable political candidate, you're supposed to be able to get Secret Service protection. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will receive Secret Service protection, according to Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. It comes at the direction of President Biden as a result of the shooting at a Trump rally. Kennedy's father, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, as well as his uncle, President John Kennedy, were assassinated less than 5 years apart. In a post shared to X, RFK Jr. thanked the president for granting him Secret Service protection. And Pro Football Hall of Famer Terrell Davis says he was wrongfully removed.
All right, with that all been said, now Biden's giving this man Secret Service protection, acting like he's doing him a favor. Should have given it to him in the first place. Even though I'm not voting for him, I'm clearly voting for Dr. Shiva. Please pay attention. Now, so let's talk about this couple that lost their lives at an ATM 2 years ago. And the low down dirty devil that did it is finally getting what's coming to him. Okay, let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to go to the first news report where the friends of the two victims identified them. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Listen, thank you. Tonight, two families are asking for answers after a young couple was shot and killed. They were found at the Bowden Corners shopping village near the I-95 ramp on the south side around 9:15 last night. Family and friends have identified them as 21-year-old Jamarian Barnes and his girlfriend, Tania Powell. The two victims were found shot outside of a car next to an ATM. Powell's mother says she spent today planning her daughter's funeral. Her daughter had just turned 20, and Barnes was a new father, leaving behind a 9-month-old daughter who friends say was his world. The Barnes family is grieving for the second time in just 3 months. Jamarian's younger brother was shot and killed in March. AJ Jordan, a victim advocate with the group Mad Dads, says Barnes' mother was on the phone with her son an hour before the shooting.
She's just devastated. She has lost another son due to senseless violence. Her other son was lost back in March due to violence. So she's devastated. She's very devastated right now.
Investigators are combing through surveillance video and talking with several witnesses. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. Remember, you can
At T-Mobile, we offer 40% off family lines for military and veterans.
The savings that I was able to get from T-Mobile helped me plan for the future.
Plus, we've hired 10,000 veterans and military spouses.
I'm a part of that number. It's helped me bridge military and civilian life.
Right now at 6 o'clock, this man is facing murder charges, accused of shooting two people 2 months ago. 20-year-old Rashawn Gist made his first court appearance today since police took him into custody.
He's being held in the fatal shooting of 21-year-old Jamarian Barnes and 20-year-old Ahmadiyyah Powell. They were inside a car next to an ATM at a parking lot in South Point back in June. Barnes' parents spoke with News4Jax reporter Corley Peel. She is joining us near the scene of the crime. Corley?
Well, this parking lot is where you can see flowers have been left to honor Barnes and Powell. And it's also where family members say Gist returned to the scene of the crime for a vigil for the two people days after they were murdered. This surveillance video shows a gunman running away after two people were shot and killed inside a car. The man accused of pulling the trigger appeared in court on Thursday. 20-year-old Rayshawn Gist is charged with second-degree murder.
I've been directed to set your bond at none.
He's accused of killing 21-year-old Jamarian Barnes and 20-year-old Tania Powell. I spoke with Barnes' parents who want to remain anonymous. Do you know Rayshawn Gist?
No, never saw him before in my life.
Investigators say U.S. Marshals arrested Gist on a warrant on Wednesday. Police believe he shot and killed Barnes and Powell in a car in a parking lot near Bowden and Spring Park Road in June. What have these past couple of months been like for you and your family?
It has been awful. Sleepless nights. I have nightmares.
Shortly after the murders, loved ones held a vigil at the scene. AJ Jordan with Mad Dad says Gist was there standing with Barnes' family and friends.
And how common is that for someone who is accused of the crime to actually show up to a memorial?
I think it's very common because they want to interject themselves into it. They want to see the pulse of the community, see what information going out. And so they want to be right there in the thick of things.
Did you know that he was there?
No, absolutely
not.
How does that make you feel that he was right under your nose?
That's very scary. You know, what if he could have followed any one of us home?
Barnes leaves behind an 11-month-old daughter. What are you going to miss the most about your son?
Everything is hugs.
His vibe, his love, you know, everything about my son. He was just a good guy all around the board.
Now that Gist is behind bars, his family is hoping for justice. Both JSO and Mad Dad said that they've received dozens of tips from the community that helped lead to the arrest of Gist. His next court date is scheduled for August 25th, and Barnes' family says they will be there. Reporting live from South Point, Corley Peel, Channel 4, the local station.
Okay, so he was just bold because usually a person wouldn't confront two people at an ATM. And it's usually safer for more than one person to go, for you to be at least with another person. But he approached both of them, didn't care. And the fact that he was back at the crime scene just goes to show how nefarious he is, okay? And like they said, he was there to gather information, to see if anybody's talking about what all the police know, if they have any suspects, if anyone saw anything. That's what he was doing. You see, very often killers return to the scene of the crime, as I told you all before. But let's go to the courtroom drama. Now, I hope I wrote down the part that I want to go to. Hold on, beloveds. Like stuff. Everyone, please like and share. I'm going to have to fast forward because this is like an hour long, but there's only like one part I want to see. This is him. Hold on. Let me see if I have the actual sentencing. Hold on, beloveds. Okay. Let me go to this other video first. This one might be a little shorter. Yep, same one. Okay. Here we go. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
Well, family first. Good morning, ma'am.
Victim impact statement.
My name is Tiffany Parker. Also, AKA Tiffany Powell. Live Angel Powell was my daughter. She was born on June 6, 2002. She was taken from us June 20th, 2022. Every morning when I wake up, I have to remind myself that my precious daughter, my oldest child, my best friend, the first heir of my throne, my princess, who is becoming a natural queen, is no longer with us on this earth in the flesh, breathing, laughing, dancing, cheering, caring, working, loving anymore. It is said that the firstborn raises the mother. We grew together in so many ways. We had more to learn from each other. We planned a future that did not give us a chance to pass. I spent my days wearing a mask. It has been over 2 years of me holding myself together through prayer and standing on my faith. Only God can see us through this trauma. Tonight, sisters, brothers, grandmother, and grandfathers, uncles and aunts, cousins, nieces and nephews, and friends still cannot believe tonight is gone. Tonight is the Angel Powell. Her name means courageous, the angel warrior. I made her perfect. I don't know about me in my heart. Because she has been her whole life always supporting me. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about her, laughing and arguing with me on occasions. Greetings. I am Tamari Martin's baby sister. His only sister. My brother was an exceptional person, sweet, loving. And cool. He was someone that everyone got along with. He was my best friend, and we were incredibly close. Would have given anyone around him anything that they needed. He always was willing to help others, and it was this kindness that led him to handle the loss of him.
Words. My world is shattered, and the void left by Jamarian's loss will never be filled. Our family will forever mourn his absence, and the memories of what could have been will haunt us every day.
Appreciate your professionalism. Your Honor, I'll be brief. Mr. Gist maintains his innocence. He intends to take advantage of any relief afforded to by the state of Florida in that regard. And I understand the court is bound, as the state suggested. And I will state for the record that Mr. Gist intends to appeal his conviction in this case. Understood. Thank you, Your Honor. Is there any legal reason why sentence should not be imposed?
No, sir.
The first, prior to that, is why I said it during the trial, and this is to the attorneys and everybody involved, to the attorneys specifically. I appreciate your professionalism. Obviously, it's for everybody. So, anytime I get a chance to say that, I did. And to all families involved as well during the trial. Obviously, it was a very difficult case as well. Everybody had proper decorum, and of course, very appreciative of that as well. With that being said, with no legal reason why sentence should not be imposed, as to the counts 1 and 2, Mr. Gist, if you can come forward for a motion. Your attorney has been asked.
Based off of the jury's verdict, Mr. Gist, in regards to counts 1 and 2, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment, which is mandatory life on counts 1 and 2. You'll obviously get credit for the time that you've been in. On counts 3 and 4, based off of the aggravating factors that came out through the trial in regards to the case, considering those aggravating factors in the jury's verdict on counts 3 and 4, you'll be sentenced to life in prison as well, with a minimum mandatory of 25 years for the findings with discharge in regards to that. And those counts will run concurrent, it's not consecutive. So those will be the sentences. There's court costs of it's $518. Am I ordering and reserving restitution, Mr. Conrad? Should I just?
Not probably up.
I'll order and reserve restitution if there is any. We can take care of that at a later date. You'll get credit for it all the time. Mr. Gitch, do you have the right to appeal the sentence if you find it to be illegal? That must be done within 30 days. If you can't afford an attorney to represent you, one will be appointed for you. You can have conversations with Mr. Annam to figure out those decisions. Anything further from either side?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. The court's in recess.
Okay, so I know there was a lot of static in the audio. It was hard to hear what they were saying. But basically, he got life. For counts 1 and 2, which would include the homicide of both of the victims, he got mandatory life. And then for counts 3 and 4, he got life also due to the aggravating factors. Okay? Due to the aggravating factors, he got life for that as well. So, and that's a mandatory for him to serve at least 25 years. Now, the sentences are to run concurrently, which means they run parallel at the same time. And he does get credit for time served. I don't know how that's going to help him too much. Well, if he gets out in 25 years, which likely he won't, that would help him to get out a little bit quicker maybe. But anyway, so let's talk about exactly how he did all this. And then we'll go to what the family said after the sentencing. Now, a Jacksonville man convicted of killing 2 people next to a Southside ATM more than 2 years ago was sentenced to life in prison on Friday. A Duval County judge said the aggravating factors in the case left him no choice. A jury found Rayshawn Gist guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Jamarion Barnes and Tania Powell back in May. Now, his lawyer said he maintains his innocence. He didn't do it. Sir, if you didn't do it, who was that running away from the scene, and why were you at the vigil, the memorial? Surveillance video showed Gist leaving a car that was parked next to an ATM in the South Point area in 2022. They got him on tape. Gist would eventually turn around and grab a bag from the car and continue running. Barnes and Powell were inside that car where Gist had just shot and killed them. Cold-blooded killer. The investigation revealed that Gist was trying to buy drugs but shot the 2 within seconds of arriving at the ATM. Barnes was 21 and Powell was 20. Now, Gist then gave the gun that he used to someone as a way to pay off a debt. When investigators found the gun, they connected it to the shell casings found in the car. During victim statements, Barnes' mother stood at the podium, but had her statement read on her behalf. Said, "Our life will never be the same again. Not only did I lose my son, but your mother also lost a son as well. And now she shares in this grieving pain." Gist's lawyer said they intend to appeal the conviction. And again, the judge said that he has 130 days to appeal. And if he can't afford an attorney and all that, blase, blase. Devil, as far as I'm concerned. Kill those people because he wanted to rob them. Very sad. But like I said, let's go to what the family said after the sentencing. Like, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
because you are.
Two local families say they will now start to heal following the sentencing today of a man who killed their loved ones. Rayshawn Gist will spend his life in prison for the 2022 murders of Jamarian Barnes and Tania Powell. They were shot at a Southside ATM. Right now, Renata DiGregorio is live on your side at the courthouse. And Renata, you spoke with family members for both of those victims today.
Jeannie, family members say they're satisfied with this life sentence. Powell's younger sister says that she hopes now Gist will see the harm that he's caused. 21-year-old Jamarian Barnes and 20-year-old Tania Powell were shot and killed at an ATM on Bowden Road in 2022. Their convicted killer, Rayshawn Gist, was sentenced today to spend the rest of his life in prison. Today, Gist's defense attorney said he maintains his innocence. Surveillance video obtained exclusively by First Coast News at the time shows the couple's car pull up to an ATM where Gist's warrant says he was in the back seat. Jamarian's mother, Terry Barnes, says she lost her two sons to gun violence less than 100 days apart, and her granddaughter, now almost 3 years old, will have to grow up without a father.
That was his happiest day of his life, was when he became a dad. He loved her to pieces. And it breaks my heart that he's not here to watch her grow and, all of her first.
Barnes says she's already thinking about the day that her granddaughter grows up and starts asking questions about her father's death. Renata DiGregorio, live in Duval County, First Coast News, on your side.
Sorry, forgot to turn my mic on. That's the end of him, this low down nefarious self. He got just what he had coming. Okay, just what he deserved. Really, to me, when you kill more than one person, like you take two people's lives, that should be an automatic death penalty. Okay, you shouldn't get to live your life in prison. You should get a death penalty. All right, especially when it's something with aggravating factors. Please pay attention. Now, that being said, let's talk about Young Thug's YSL trial. Because that nefarious judge has been recused. Let's get into it. I told y'all he was shady and needs to get kicked off the bench. Not just kicked off Young Thug's case, but he should be kicked off the bench. It's a whole thug as far as I'm concerned. Now, Fulton County Judge Euro Glanville has been removed from overseeing the ongoing gang and racketeering trial against Atlanta rapper Young Thug and his alleged associates. That decision was made Monday by Superior Court Judge Rachel Krause, weeks after Glanville was scrutinized for holding a secret meeting with prosecutors and a key witness in chambers. Krause granted the motions filed on behalf of Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, and his co-defendant, DeMonte Kendrick, to recuse Glanville. Now, in the order granting recusal, Krause said that the Fulton clerk should reassign the trial to another judge using the court's case procedures. Now, the Fulton clerk of court confirmed to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that Judge Shakur Ingram has now been assigned to the case. Kendrick's attorney, Doug Weinstein, said in a statement that his client should be granted bond now that Glanville has been removed from the case. They say, while we continue to respect Chief Judge Glanville, we agree with Judge Krause that Judge Glanville's actions at least give the appearance of impropriety. We also maintain that Chief Judge Glanville was biased against Mr. Kendrick and the other defendants in the case, Weinstein said. Now, you know that's bad when somebody whose last name is Weinstein is telling somebody who looks the same skin tone as you that person's biased against you. That says a whole lot. You see, that says that this person is clearly a whole raccoon. It's all I'm saying. Do we really want or need him on the bench, presiding over people who look like him when he has that sort of angst for his own people, when he's such a raccoon? But anyway, let me continue. Now, goes on to say that we look forward to trying this case before an unbiased judge to a just conclusion that will free Mr. Kendrick. Now, Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, said in a statement that we're grateful Krause agreed with them and agreed to remove Glanville from this case. Jeffrey Williams is innocent of the charges brought in this indictment, and to clear his name, he sought a speedy trial. one in which he would receive the constitutional guarantees of a fair trial with an impartial judge presiding and ethical prosecutors following the law. This is what Brian Steele said. Shout out to Brian Steele. That's a good attorney, but let me continue. Sadly, Judge Glanville and the prosecutors have run afoul of their duties under the law, he said. Now, District Attorney Fonnie Willis declined to comment through a spokeswoman. I'm sure she did, because she's shady as hell too, and clearly a whole raccoon. But I digress. Atlanta criminal defense attorney Don Samuel said the DA's office does not have the right to appeal a defendant's successful motion to recuse a judge. They say there are now a lot of procedural hoops everyone has to go through that are very unique. Okay, this is what Samuel said, who represented Sergio Kitchens, who was also known as Gunna, and pleaded guilty before the trial began. They say Gunna snitched. Glanville has been presiding over the YSL case since it was indicted in May of 2022. It was re-indicted in August of 2022, but jury selection didn't start until January of 2023. After a 10-month jury selection process, opening statements took place in November. Now, in her order, Krause said that she generally agreed with Glanville's assessment regarding the propriety of the June 10th meeting, adding that nothing discussed in the meeting was inherently improper. How does she know that? Does she have the transcripts? Are they telling her every little detail of what was said? I just have questions. However, she did note that the meeting could have or perhaps should have been held in open court. Exactly. And that's how you know something shady went on, because if it was nothing, then it would have been done in the presence of the defense counsel and not hidden. And the judge would have got so mad, butthurt, and been out of shape when he was called out on his BS, and then he wouldn't have thrown defense attorney Brian Steele in jail. Okay, if he was on the up and up, he wouldn't have done all of that. If he was doing something right and there was nothing nefarious behind his actions, when Brian Steele asked him, "Why didn't you let me know about the meeting?" the judge would have simply told him why, rather than sitting there trying to flip the script, okay, and trying to project and gaslight and deflect by asking, "Who told you that?" Why was he so concerned about who told him? Because he knew he was doing something he had no business doing. That's just the bottom line of it. Now, these judges are going to cover up for each other. Please pay attention. They're not going to tell you he was doing something inappropriate or that he had any type of impropriety. They'll say, although it may have looked as if there was something improper going on, that there were improprieties, it wasn't really the case. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Now, it goes on to say that Krause said a judge can disclose information about their potential recusal, but that must be done objectively and without judgment. So don't judge the judge, but they get to judge everybody else? Yeah, I don't think so. They say this court has no doubt that Judge Glanville can and would continue presiding fairly over this matter if the recusal motions were denied. But the necessity of preserving the public's confidence in the judicial system weighs in favor of excusing Judge Glanville from further handling of this case. Let me tell y'all something. This is a whole load of BS. If they thought that he could be fair and impartial, they likely wouldn't be taking his arse off. They know that he's been biased. That's not the first shady thing that he did, having the attorney locked up, escorted out of the court in handcuffs. That's not the first shady thing he did. Okay? Remember that BS earlier in the trial? All right, when he was letting the prosecutor just do what they wanted and then trying to give the defense hell? No, he really is biased. And he would not preside fairly over that trial, and they know it. That's why they took him off. Because we all know that the courts, one thing they don't do is give a damn about the court of public opinion. They don't care what we think. We should all know that by now. Look how they let these cops get off for deleting people who look like me. But now we're supposed to think they care about what we think? Please. Anyway, goes on to say, former Judicial Qualifications Commission Director Chuck Boring said Ingram will have to look at the case and decide whether to move forward or recuse herself. Then it's likely that defense attorneys will file a motion for a mistrial. If a mistrial was granted, they would have to have transcripts prepared for all 18 months of the trial thus far for the attorneys to review, Boring says. If a mistrial is granted, if it's actually going to be retried, it won't be for a long, long time. Well, I hope they get a mistrial, because I don't believe it. Now, Ingram could pick up where Glanville left off, but Boring said, hold on, beloveds, pop-ups. Hold on, darn it. I lost my place. Hold on for a second. Okay, here we go. Now, Ingram could pick up where Glanville left off, but Boring said that it would take months to catch up because they've got to review all of the transcripts, go over all the files and briefs that have been submitted into evidence and all of that, look at all the exhibits and whatnot. Lester Tate, a former JQC chair, said it will depend on how Ingram rules on the likely motion for a mistrial to see if prosecutors have to start over, or less likely charges against Young Thug are dismissed with prejudice. That would require finding wrongdoing on behalf of the state. Saying, I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a new judge come in and try to get a handle on the whole case and figure out the best way to proceed forward. June 17th was the last day jurors heard testimony in the case, while Kenneth Copeland was on the stand. And it wasn't until trial reached its 100th day of actual proceedings, July the 1st, that Glanville announced he would pause it to allow a different judge to determine whether he would remain on the case. Now, Glanville held Steele in contempt after he refused to tell him how he found out about the meeting. Steele and Weinstein then filed motions to recuse the judge. The defense attorneys called the judge's conduct improper, contending that they had to fight to be present for the meeting. Saying that they had a right to be present for the meeting. They also accused the judge and prosecutors of coercing the reluctant Copeland into testifying by threatening him with indefinite jail time if he refused. That's intimidating a witness. This is why he needs to be off the bench permanently as far as I'm concerned. They can't change my mind on that. The prosecutors have alleged that YSL stands for Young Slime Life, a criminal street gang that is responsible for a number of shootings and incidents in Atlanta, while defense attorneys argue YSL is simply a record label. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, he's off the case. And not a moment too soon. Not a moment too soon. All the while, the cops are the ones who investigate the cops. We call BS. Exactly, Queen Sam. R.G. Titan said the judge had a secret meeting too. Yes, exactly. I'm like, he had to be doing something shady. Why are you having a meeting and you don't even invite the defense attorneys in there? And then you get upset when they ask you about why they weren't invited. Please make it all make sense. Please make it all make sense. Now let's talk about this sick, disgusting man who was stalking a 12-year-old. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this story. It's still not available. Hold on, beloveds. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Here it is, right here. Pennsylvania man accused of stalking underage girls using his drone calls it a hobby, not harassment. What? Now I want you all to pay attention. You see, these freaks and perverts are out here using all sorts of technology to do nefarious things. He's out here using a drone. This is all crazy. Let's get into it. So according to police, a 44-year-old man named Michael Brockman of Canonsburg allegedly used a drone to follow his victims at least 120 times, okay, to stalk girls, following them when they left their houses, jumped on trampolines, visited a lemonade stand on the playground, or went to the playground, with the youngest being 12 years old. Brockman is accused of stalking his victims for a year. This is all sick. I'm not surprised, but I would say it's unique, according to the FBI Supervisory Special Agent Tim Wolford. He said, we have seen that child predators are becoming more and more sophisticated in utilizing technology more and more to carry out their crimes. One of the victims, a 13-year-old girl, told the police that Brockman's drone followed her between 80 and 90 times, including while she was jumping on the trampoline. The girl's family moved away to protect her. Honey, I would have moved him out the way, and not with my hands. Another victim reported seeing the drone outside of their bedroom window, and that Brockman would leave them handwritten notes with inappropriate messages. Freak. I want you all to pay attention. saying it got to the point where they were fearful to even come outside and play in their own neighborhood because of this drone. This is what Canonsburg Police Deputy Chief Donald Cross said. Now, neighbors along Franklin Avenue said they saw the drone numerous times, but never imagined it was being used for something nefarious. Said it was really shocked, or I was really shocked to hear there is someone like this who lives here. This is what neighbor Scott Kama said. God, this is all crazy. What is really going on with people? What is really going on with people? Hold on, beloveds. Let me see if I can find a video about this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. This is all so sick. So I want to see what this freak looks like. Here he is, right here. I gotta see your face, little weirdo. Yeah, he looks like he did it too. This is all. He looks like a typical serial killer. I'm not saying he's a serial killer, but I'm saying he sure looks like one. I want you all to pay attention to it. To the video. Hold on. Let me cue this real quick, beloved. This man is a straight weirdo. Out here stalking little girls with a drone. Hundreds of times, and one child said 80 or 90 times the drone followed her. Outside of bedroom windows, sending inappropriate messages. Where are the fathers? Where are the fathers to these children? How is he getting away with this? Okay, how is he getting away with this? This is all so crazy. Let me share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. We got to get to the bottom of it. We've got to get to the bottom of the nefariousness. Put my overlay on here. It's a darn shame. Children aren't safe anywhere these days. These weirdos out here on the streets.
Teenage girls and a parent all testified that a man in their Canonsburg neighborhood used a drone to stalk them. They say they were scared, uncomfortable, and terrified. Girls between the ages of 13 and 17 testified that they were followed by a black drone while walking to the neighborhood park or walking home. They say this man was the drone operator. He is 44-year-old Michael Francis Brackman. Collectively, the girls say they were followed more than 100 times between 2021 and 2023. Two girls testified that the drone hovered outside their bedroom windows. One girl said it hovered outside her mother's bedroom window. Police confiscated 3 drones from Brackman's house. They found a camera and a video card in the black drone. This is Brackman after the preliminary hearing.
Were you spying on these girls, or was it just a hobby?
It was a hobby.
Really?
Yes.
What, did you record anything at all?
No, that's why they don't have.
So you weren't stalking them?
No.
Why did you have it outside the
No more
windows?
questions.
And then his wife came to his defense.
I'm his wife.
Oh, you're
His drone was white. You heard them all testify that the drone is black, correct?
Oh,
Get out of my face.
And then Brackman's attorney says his drone activity was just a hobby, not stalking.
That was a hobby of his. He was on house arrest. He couldn't go out, so he was flying the drone, and you know, they felt threatened, and I guess it'll be for a later date somebody make that decision whether they were threatened or not.
All charges against Brackman were held for trial. They include stalking and harassment. Reporting from Canonsburg in Washington County, Sheldon Ingram, Pittsburgh's Action News.
Just the whole weirdo. Then his wife had the nerve to get mad. What are you mad for, Karen? What are you mad for? Talking about, oh, they said the drone was black. You heard them testify that it was black, but his drone is white. No, his drone is the one that was outside of their dorm bedroom windows. He didn't deny it. If you notice, he didn't deny it. The only thing he said was that he was just flying the drone. He wasn't stalking them. He didn't say that wasn't my drone. My drone doesn't look like that. He didn't say that. Karen, sit down some damn word. That man did exactly what they said. And he's a whole weirdo. And this is the problem. You see, women like her condone this BS. Just like John Wayne Gacy, a whole serial killer, his wife was condoning his BS. A lot of these women are silent and complicit because they want to just keep living like nothing's going wrong. Like they're not living with a whole pervert, freak, weirdo, or serial killer. Okay? He's disgusting. Absolutely, mommy. Drone. And then what about those messages? She's sitting there talking about that wasn't his drone. They said it was Black His wife. What about those messages that he left them, lady? What do you have to say about that, Karen? Okay, let's get into it. So it goes on to say that a neighbor says, I was really shocked to hear this, that there is someone who lives here, okay, who's doing this. Now, the FBI said agents are always working to stay one step ahead of child predators as they're increasingly thinking outside of the box. That's why it's important to have constant conversations with your children about the dangers of social media. I've been telling you all this for years, okay? I told you, don't try to be your children's friends. You need to be keeping tabs on them. You need to be strict on them. You need to be checking their history on their internet, their phones. You need to see who they're talking to, because these predators like that thug right there we just witnessed, they'll do all sorts of nefarious things, including, but not limited to, making fake profiles and pretending to be the same age of the children that they're preying upon. Okay, this is what they do. Now, goes on to say that so there's always a high learning curve where they're trying to stay ahead. So he allegedly called his drone use a hobby, not harassment. Brackman faces dozens of misdemeanor stalking charges. Why are these misdemeanors? These should be felonies. When you're doing these things to minors, it should automatically be a felony. Please pay attention. How does that even make sense? Okay, if you're doing that to a grown person, that's one thing. But when you're doing stuff like that to minors, you need to be charged with felonies. Okay, now they're going to give him a slap on the wrist, and this pervert freak weirdo is going to be doing the same thing over again. Watch what I tell you. Okay, watch what I tell you. This is all crazy. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Now, hold on. Let me pull this up. Because somebody just got busted on camera. So I'm about to go to this press conference for this dirty, low-down devil who killed a girl, and they caught him on surveillance footage buying the knife. Okay, now he's sitting there trying to lie like these devils will often do. But he's actually on surveillance, supposedly purchasing the knife that he used. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Apartment complex where she lived. When deputies rose in that closet, attempted CPR and first aid on her, and she was unresponsive. From the beginning of this, very cooperative and offered a lot of information. A witness at the complex reported seeing a heavyset male leaving the building where Rose was found. Video from the complex showed a person we now know to be Doris May following at a distance behind Rose as she walked through the complex to her friend's building. At the murder scene, detectives found the packaging of a 12-inch knife believed to be the murder weapon. So an extensive canvass of the area uncovered video from a store nearby that showed Dorisby buying that same kitchen knife from the store, the one which was used in the murder. So I want to thank our hardworking detectives who worked tirelessly on this case around the clock. And I want to thank our crime scene investigators and forensics unit for their hard work in the case. We also want to thank our partners at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement who are testing a significant amount of evidence as we still investigate this case. And we want to thank the community. We received many, many tips from the community that helped us lead us to him. And so you've heard me say before that law enforcement, we cannot do it alone. We need the community's help, and this case proves just that. The community really came through, media really came through for us, putting his picture out there, which ultimately led to his arrest. So Rose, as you can see, is a beautiful young woman. She should not have died this way. And my heart aches for her family and her friends and her loved ones. But what we can do now is, provide justice for this family moving forward. So with that, I will take any questions. Yes. Yes, he does. So he had been arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior on a child. That case was ultimately dropped to child abuse. I'm not sure what time or how much time he served, but he does have a history. Our deputies have come in contact with him recently. We were called about a man walking down the street with a knife. Our deputies were able to de-escalate that situation, have him drop the knife, but he ended up punching 3 of our deputies. He was ultimately Baker acted as a result of that incident.
Did he have, or any indication that he knew Rose prior to this? Was this completely random? Had he been watching her?
So he did not know her, but he used to live in that area. He's very familiar with that area. He has frequented that area, and according to people in that area, he has been seen watching girls in that area. So they were definitely concerned about him. But that's other than the lewd and lascivious conduct, and then the Baker Act a few weeks ago, that's been our only contact and knowledge about him.
The fact that he knew where a utility closet was, I'm just curious, was he a former tenant in this place, or did he ever, stayed in this place? Because to know things like that, you've obviously, like you said, you was watching her, but you scouted it out a little bit.
I just know that many people knew that he was familiar with the area. He frequented the area. He got his hair cut from a barber locally there, and he lived in that area. So most likely he was familiar with the complex as well.
Got any statement from him about what happened?
So, he was arrested yesterday. He was here at the Orange County Sheriff's Office for 8 hours and did not open his mouth one time, except to eat.
Do we know if he spent any time?
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I think we've all heard enough. They said he was there for 8 hours and didn't open his mouth not one time except to eat. Please pay attention. This man is splitting the fairies. And then they said they had to Baker act him. Yeah, he's crazy. He did have mental health issues. You can look at the wild look in his eyes. Okay? You can look at the wild look in his eyes. Whatever he's accused of, he surely did it. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. This is also said you have to be very careful, people. It's a lot of strange people out here in these streets. Now, let's talk about this woman who was on the run, and they had a whole manhunt for her for killing somebody at Church's Chicken. You all heard about that? I've been meaning to talk about this story, but that incident with Trump came up, so I just got sidetracked. But this is all so crazy. So let's get into it. Likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so first they were looking for the woman, like I said. Hold on. Okay, let's start right here. Now here we go. Let me go to the first report. I'm glad they finally caught her. Out here killing people over chicken. Like, this has got to be insanity at its best. What is wrong with people? What is really going on here? Y'all don't find all of this behavior nefarious? Like, I think it has something to do with with that venom that people took. As far as I'm concerned. Some of y'all out here running the streets wild and crazy. I'm serious.
And I hope you die and suffer in hell.
The frustrations of a 12-year-old devastated tonight after the brutal murder of her mother. Her mother, that Church's Chicken employee that was gunned down yesterday. Police are still looking for this woman tonight in connection to that shooting. They say she pulled the trigger. Thank you for joining us tonight at 9. I'm Daryl Green. Darcy Thomas is off this evening. Now, tonight, that victim's 12-year-old daughter and her father are speaking only with Fox 13 News. Daniel Wilkerson, he's live outside the Church's Chicken where it happened in South Memphis. So, Daniel, have police said at all why this happened? Why did this all happen?
They say it happened over a food order, Daryl. Get that. We've also learned just within a few minutes that police have
Sorry, I forgot to cut my mic on. Listen, I want you all to pay attention. Now, the white news reporter asked the brother, he says, can you tell us, do we have any idea why this all happened? Knowing good and darn well he knows why it happened. Now, what he wants the black man to say in response to that is, it was over chicken. So they can say these ninjas out here killing each other over chicken. Lord have mercy. We knew they loved it because that's already the running stereotype. But so the black man, careful how he chose his words, replied saying it was over a food order. He said it was over a food order. Now he knows darn well it was chicken, but he wasn't going to say it. That's all I'm saying. Good looking out, brother. I wouldn't have said it either because that man was trying to get him to say it was over chicken, okay? We all know it was over chicken, but I'd be darned if I would say it if I were him too. Please pay attention. Now let's get back to it.
Located the suspect's vehicle. More on that here in just a second, but in an exclusive interview, both the daughter and the father spoke with me. The daughter, as you would imagine, heartbroken over the death of her mother.
She meant everything.
At times, it was hard for 12-year-old Zoe West to even speak about her mother.
I just want my mama. I don't want nobody else than my mom and my dad.
Zoe and her father, Lorenzo West, say Zoe's mother was that Church's Chicken employee fatally shot Monday night. West says he got a phone call.
Let me know to get my daughter to get to the hospital or get her from the shot.
Sadly, he says his ex-wife, 48-year-old Anitra West, did not pull through.
And she likes a certain way to live. She always worked for it.
And that's what police say she was doing when she was murdered. It happened just after 9 Monday night at the Church's Chicken on Park Avenue. Investigators say this woman with purple hair drove through the drive-thru in this teal-colored SUV and had an argument with West. Officers say at some point, West walked outside to get some air. A few minutes later, witnesses tell police they heard a gunshot. They say the woman in the SUV then sped off the parking lot. Memphis police confirmed to Fox 13 News Tuesday night the dispute was over a food order. This 12-year-old would have to learn the news her mother died online. Zoe and her father say West was super smart. They say she loved serving people, and that's why she chose to work in the service industry.
We were married 15 years, and she was my high school sweetheart and all that. And we pretty much had gotten closer after we separated, and because we had to co-parent.
At this point in the interview, I asked a question that sometimes is hard to ask families who have just lost a loved one. I asked whether there was a lesson that can be learned from all of this.
Read the audience. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Be in control of you. If you're in control of you, 9 times out of 10, you control the situation to a certain extent.
He says some people have no regard for human life, and you never know who you're arguing with. As for this 12-year-old who will now have to grow up without her mother, she has this message for the killer.
And I hope you die and suffer in hell.
Back out live tonight, it's just hard to hear. The father tells me that he and his child's mother have been divorced for about 2 years now. He says he's technically not the next of kin, so it's been really hard to get information from police as well as from the hospital. He says the next of kin is the victim's mother, who he says is on vacation, not able to be reached by phone, so she has yet to learn of her daughter's death. DG.
That is Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson live tonight.
Now, who goes on a whole vacation and you're not able to be reached by phone? Who does that? That's just real strange to me, okay? Why would anybody do that? I mean, there's no telling what can happen while you're away. But hold on, because there's an update. First, let's go to what the family says. But court documents in the case have come out as of 2 hours ago, and we're going to talk about that. They caught the lady. They caught her behind, and I'm so glad they did. A whole thug out here roaming the streets. Hold on, let me wait for these ads to stop, and then I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, here we go.
Fox 13 News at 9 starts now.
I am so grateful. It brings some relief knowing that this person will no longer be able to do things like that to someone else.
But we pray for her and her family, because her family has been affected just as much as we have.
These two parents received word today that police arrested the woman accused of gunning down their daughter. 48-year-old Anitra West was the church's chicken employee police say was murdered on the job in Orange Mound. But tonight, suspect 45-year-old Monica Williams sits in the Shelby County Jail East, in fact, after being on the run for days. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for Fox 13 News at 9. I'm Darcy Thomas.
And I'm Daryl Green. This is an interview you'll see only here on Fox 13. Let's go to Daniel Wilkerson. He spoke exclusively with those parents. He's live tonight outside the church's chicken where that murder happened. So, Daniel, first of all, it's hard to imagine how those parents are able to give that sort of grace this soon after their daughter's murder. How did they take the news of the arrest?
You know, it's a complex situation. Darcy and Daryl, good evening to you. Good evening to you at home. They are godly people. You heard them say it off the top. Even amongst all their pain, their thoughts are with the suspect's family. But still, they lost a daughter. So in that sense, they're glad the suspect is off the street. It's a situation no parent wants to experience.
When you're a mother and you raise children and they have children, which are your grandchildren, you always look that it would be you that would go before them and not them before you.
Monday, Bruce and Antoinette Stevens got the news the woman accused of murdering their daughter is now in custody.
It's relief that she's not on the street.
Police announced Monday they had 45-year-old Monica Williams in custody.
You all see how she tried to change her looks, how she cut out those purple braids. Y'all see that? How she cut those braids out real quick. Please pay attention, dirty devil.
She was on the run since investigators say she shot and killed 48-year-old Anitra West a week before. Officers say Williams murdered West, an employee at the church's chicken on Park Avenue in Orange Mound. Police put out this picture of the suspect taken near the drive-through window that day. She had purple hair then, but had a noticeably different hairstyle Monday when officers captured her mugshot. The Stevens live in Colorado, but say they learned of their daughter's death last week while in Orlando.
And this happened while we were on vacation. And 4 hours before we came back, Anitra couldn't come because she was working.
Anitra's father, a pastor, says they were devastated.
It was hard. We were struck. We were surprised. We were hurt. But immediately, her and I, we prayed immediately that God give us strength.
Their former son-in-law, their daughter's ex-husband, Lorenzo West, says the daughter he shares with Anitra heard the news of the arrest.
She said, I told you they were going to get her. I said, I knew they were going to get her. It was just, she was too famous. You know, there's nowhere to hide when you're that famous. And nobody's, yeah. Purple hair. And I mean, nobody's going to hide you, you know, when everybody's looking for you. Shout out to Thaddeus Matthews and all the people on the internet that put all the info out there.
As to the parents' thoughts on the woman accused of their daughter's murder,
I'm a firm believer that some people do deserve a second chance. Don't get me wrong. But there's a degree of the morality and the moral stipulations of killing people, hurting people, doing harm to people. That should be a priority of saying, okay, this person may do this again. And until you're certain that they won't do it again, they need to do the time that they have done in order to be put there in the first place.
We have to trust in God that things will work out, that she's treated fairly in the system. And that's what we believe.
where do you get that kind of forgiveness or that heart from?
It comes from God.
Perhaps the only source of that type of grace. Back out here live tonight, that father tells me that they are not people of great means. They say they had to max their credit cards just to get here to Memphis. Meanwhile, they have set up a GoFundMe page to help with the funeral expenses. If you would like to donate, just go to fox13memphis.com. Meanwhile, the ex-husband who you heard from there, he says that he does not believe that this murder was simply over a food order. More on that coming up at 10. DG.
That is Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson live in Orange Mound. Daniel, thank you. All right, let's take.
Okay, let me say something. You know, the little family and stuff and all that. Hold on. Let me pull up my chat real quick. Okay. Raina says the mother sounds so calm. y'all something. In my opinion, those type of black folk that they were is the kind that gets on my nerves. I'm sorry. I know they're all sweet and all that, like molasses. But those are the kind of black people that get on my ever-loving nerves. Oh, we're going to pray for her because her family's suffering too. And I hope she gets a fair trial. What? I don't give a damn if they give her a fair trial or not. You kill my dog, I'm going to kill your cat. I don't care nothing about you, boo. And at the end of the day, these type of black people, Lord have mercy, the slave mentality of it all. Now, y'all can agree to disagree, honey, but the queen is not the one, honey, okay? I am not ever the one. And then he said, and then the black guy, everybody's so impressed. The black and the white reporter said, oh, they're so kind and this and that. And the black reporter says, where do y'all get this grace and humbleness from? However he phrased it, it comes from God. Ha! Comes from God. No, it don't. I'm sorry, no, it doesn't. That don't come from God. Okay, please sit down. That comes from brainwashing, indoctrination, taught and being beaten into submission that the ancestors were done and made to be humble. And then told to turn the other cheek. When in the Bible it really said an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Y'all think that God's all sweet and humble? Y'all think that God's all sweet and humble, the same God that said, vengeance is mine? The same God who gave Samson the strength when he prayed for it one more time to kill the Philistines, who blinded him and took away his strength by cutting his hair after they paid that low down, no good bitch Delilah 30 pieces of silver to betray it. Did God say, oh, forgive him, I'm going to pray? No. God gave Samson the power and ability to take them on up out of here. What did God say when the Pharaoh wouldn't release the Israelites? He told Moses, go and tell them that I said, let my people go. And if they don't, they're going to get these plagues. And they got those plagues. And one of them was to kill the firstborn in every household. You talking about, we get it from God. No, I don't know what God you're serving. Not the one that I serve, honey. Okay? Because vengeance is what the Most High was talking about. The wrath. You're going to get consequences and repercussions. That's what you're going to get. The same God that told the angels, go down there to Sodom and Gomorrah, and if you can find 10 amongst them who are righteous, then leave them. But if you can't, destroy them. And the only ones saved were Lot and his wife and daughters. And then the wife turned to a pillar of salt because God told the angels, tell them to leave and don't look back. And she did. And she turned to a pillar of salt. I'm sorry, what God are they talking about gave them all that? To be so kind, considerate, meek, and humble that you're going to sit there and pray for the very person who took out your daughter, who snuck out the life of your granddaughter's own mother, that she may grow up forever without a mother? I'm sorry. And then you're concerned as to whether or not she gets a fair shake in the judicial system? This is all poppycock. I'm sorry. I cannot. I absolutely cannot. Them are the soft batch Negroes that I talk about. Them's the type of Negroes that if we were on the plantation, I'm the runaway slave. I'm not staying here. Okay? I'm not staying here. But those are the kinds of Negroes. Massa, a Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur and the royal says they's going to be trying to run this way for freedom. They says they's going up north, son. Ha! Just thought I'd tell you. That's the kind right there. No thanks. No thanks. Those are the kind that love racist white folk who do low down nefarious things to them, and they say, "Oh, just forgive them." That's what would Jesus do? That's them. I don't have time for it. I do not have time for it, honey. Okay, I can't. I absolutely cannot. I know what some of y'all are thinking. Oh, Queen, you're so nefarious. Queen, you're so petty. Queen, you're so mean. Call it what you like. I'm just doing what God does. Okay? Pay attention. Now, we know that God has killed many people in the name of vengeance and wrath. Well, they did dirt. People got consequences. All right? Let's not forget how God kicked Satan up out of heaven, cast him down into hell. Isn't that what the Bible said? Talking about God gave it to him to be so nice and meek and humble. Okay. All I read in the Bible is about God getting revenge on all of his enemies and anybody who dared to go against his people when he told them not to. All right? That's what I read in the Bible. I don't know what Bible some of these Christians Christians be reading from, they be painting narratives, or they be so indoctrinated, like I said, from the lies they've been told. And then when somebody like me wants to come and try to tell them the truth of what the Bible really says, oh, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, honey. But anyway, I digress. Let me continue. Brainwashing is absolutely a thing. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about this woman who is so desperate for a man that she gets one out of prison. Let me pull this up. This woman said that she saw some woman on the internet who was going to pick up men straight from jail, from the penitentiary. And she decided she was going to try and get her one too, honey. Please pay attention. She said that this woman is picking up men straight out of prison. So desperate for a man she is. And so now she said, well, let me go get me one. You can't make this stuff up. She said, hold up. Don't leave me out. Let's get into it. The lights up. Leon said, no time for can we all get along. I know that's right. Sorry. Okay. Honey, I'm more like Muhammad Ali said, honey, you kill my dog, I'm going to kill your cat, honey. We beefing, we're going to be forever. All right? Please miss me with all the other BS.
So I'm feeling inspired from that lady that picks up dudes in jail and stuff. So guess what I'm doing today? Shit, I figure I'd give me one too. Why not? Why the hell not? Everything else has failed. This is probably going to fail too. Only one way to find out. Picked one out in the paper. Today's his release date. Coming out in 15 minutes. I got his clothes right here. Actually, they're my son's clothes. Hopefully they fit him. I guess we'll find out. See what he looks like. All right. God, now I know how she feels just sitting here waiting. I got like 4 minutes until he comes out. Oh. Okay, just chill. Be cool. Be fucking cool, Liz. Don't blow it. Don't blow it like you blow everything else. Don't do it, Liz. Talking to yourself.
Okay, I gotta stop that. She's got music playing in the background, honey. But here's the thing. Now, she picked this man up. I'm gonna go back to it in a second. She picked this man up from prison, bought him clothes, the outfit, and all of that, and then took him home, I guess. I took him home to take care of him. Okay, Raina said this is not a blind date. It's crazy. Yeah, she is crazy. You're absolutely right. Hold on, I'm letting it play so I can let you all see what this guy looks like. Hold on, I'm going to go back to it. Talking about go pick up an inmate. I'm sorry, I would never be that desperate, ma'am. Ma'am, I just don't ever consider myself to be that desperate. She is clearly crazy.
Get that rush before they come out, man. My heart is racing. I can't even. It's like thumper in here. It's like. I got 1 minute. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Do the clothes fit? Do the clothes fit? There he is. This guy. Look at this guy. Oh, shit. Don't.
These fucking shoes.
Oh. Hey, do it again. By the way, do what you did earlier with your shoe.
Oh.
Hello. Walk normal.
Like a twiked out motherfucker.
Hey, you can't sneak on nobody.
No.
6.5 hours later.
Okay. Stacey says she's pitiful. She is. She's very pitiful, very much so. But here's the thing. drivers don't know who the hell you picking up. Crash test dummies. Okay. And then Leon said smoking too? Right. So she's got to pay for his cigarette habit. Anyway, let's go to this next video because this lady's equally as desperate. And matter of fact, this lady's even more so. Okay, this is just real sad how people are just going out here making fools of themselves. Please pay attention. Let me pull this up. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. I want you all to pay attention. This lady is clearly desperate.
I need a husband. I'm tired of singleness. I'm 39 years old. Very soon I'll enter menopause. I need a husband in my life. No matter what you are doing, I'm going to marry you. Are you a barrel pusher? Are you a beggar? Are you a conductor? Please marry me. Please, I'm going to sponsor the marriage. I'm going to give you money to pay my bride price. I'm going to sponsor the wedding with my money. Please come and marry me. I'm tired of singleness. Please. I'm 39 years old. Please come and marry me. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, please. I need a husband in my life. I need a man in my life. I'm tired of singleness. Please, I don't want to buy myself. I no longer sleep. All my mates are married with kids, but nobody wants to marry me. Nigerians, please, I'm calling everybody out. Please come and marry me. If you have a brother that needs a wife, please let me know. I don't care about what you are doing. I don't care, even if you don't have a job, I'm going to sponsor it. I need a man in my life, please. I'm 39 years old. Look at me. Please, 39 years old without a child. 39 years old without a husband. 39 years old with no relationship. I need a husband. I'm tired of.
Lady, compose yourself. How desperate are you? Oh, that was so sad to watch. I mean, I could never. She said, are you a beggar? Are you a conductor? It doesn't matter. If you don't have a job, it doesn't matter. I will sponsor the wedding. What? Woo, honey, that is so sad. All of my friends are married with children. I am 39. First of all, you look old to be 39. Let's just keep it a buck. First of all, you look a little old to be 39, honey, and black ain't even supposed to crack. What happened to her? But Lord have mercy, who's gonna want you when you're on the whole who's gonna want you when you're on Kendrick Lamar's internet? Now you out here on Kendrick Lamar's internet begging and talking about all of your friends are married but nobody wants you? Is that supposed to make somebody want you, lady? Desperate. It's all get out. I mean, really down bad for the count. Okay, please pay attention. Do you have a brother who needs a wife? That's what she said, right? Woo. Queen Sam says she's looking older, worried about the wrong ish. Exactly. AJ says she ain't stable. And Miss AP said, how pitiful. Queen Nina Star said, terrible. At the end of the day, honey, this is all sad. And she was dead ass serious and crying. Look at me, I'm 39. Honey, you need to look at you. Before you posted this, uploaded that video, you should have looked at you. Okay, you should have looked at you. Miss AP said, God is so unhappy. This is all crazy. Anyway, I had to show you all that because she made a whole fool of herself, and I, quite frankly, don't know why. If I were desperate, I darn sure wouldn't tell anybody, specifically that type of desperation. This is all nefarious. Okay, anyway, with that all being said, let me go to one more video, then we're out of here. This is the video where a father went to pick up his son, and the school had the poor child in a dress. Now, this is a video from like 3 weeks ago. There was a video that came out a few years ago where the same thing happened. This isn't that video. Because in that other video, I remember they got upset and tried to talk trash to the father and then tried to get him thrown out of the school or whatever. But this is a whole nother video where a man goes to pick up his son, who's a toddler, about maybe 2 or 3, preschool, shall I say, and they have put him in a dress. Miss AP said, oh, so nefarious queen. You know it is, okay? You know it is. All right, so let's go to this, and then we're up out of here. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Let that be the first and last time I see you do that, please. Take that off. Take that off immediately.
Oh, here, I'll help you. Okay, I'll help you. Take it up. Take it up.
And you guys never ever let my son put a dress on, ever, 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 ever. You understand me? Like ever, like ever.
Okay, no worries. You gotta do that. First time and last time. Yeah, first time and last time.
Ever. Let that be the first and last.
Now, some people were saying the father was way too calm. No, he was fine. Because you don't want to come in there acting a fool, especially if you're a black man. That's what happened with the other man. They wanted to call the police on him. But here's the thing. What in the hell are they doing putting a dress on that little boy? What's that all about? Now, the last time we saw a video like that, they lied and said, or maybe they weren't lying, but they said that the little boy wanted to put the dress on. When they gave them choices of what to pick, they said the little boy wanted to put that on. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, I don't know. But at the end of the day, they still should have told him boys don't wear dresses and given him something else. That shouldn't matter of fact, they wouldn't have had to tell him that had it not even been an option. That shouldn't even have been an option for the little boy to put on. Now, in this case, they got that little boy sitting up there. Why is it always the little black boy with the dress on? Have y'all thought about that? Because why is it always the little black boy with the dress on? Not Brad and Chad and Timmy. They always got the little black boy, little Tyrone or Jerome. They always got them in the dresses, if y'all noticed. This is the same thing that they did back in slavery. They had the girls wearing the pants, the boys wearing dresses, effeminizing them. This is what they've always done. That's right. Christopher said it's psychological manipulation. Exactly. Okay? So I just want you all to pay attention. That father had every right to be upset. Okay? Don't ever let me come in here and see my son with a dress on. He was very calm about it. More than I can say for myself, because I had to go to the school a couple of times and get in, all right, with the teacher about my oldest son. And I wasn't so nice about it. I wouldn't have read her for filth. And then threatened to call the Board of Education on her. Okay? Please pay attention. And I'm just aggressive by nature. My whole demeanor and persona is just aggressive. That's just how I am. And I'm not calm about it. Whole mess. Okay, Honey69 says, Queen, one day an Asian lady tried to hold a dress up to my grandson to see if it fits her granddaughter. My baby lost her mind before I could. Okay? Excuse me, lady. You better get that out of my face. You better get that up out of our face. Bithia said, why are we letting the enemy teach our children? That's a good question, beloved. That's why the Queen has been promoting for years, been promoting homeschooling of your children. Homeschooling of your children. That way, you know what they're being taught. And then you can teach them the truth of our history. And you can teach them the things that they need to know that they're not going to get in a regular school. That's what you can do. Okay, Stacey said, I'm aggressive too, Queen Ahmadiyyah. Okay, absolutely. AJ said, now we ain't doing that. Okay. That's right. Mommy said it's in the children's cartoons as well. Yes, it is. They're sliding into the cartoons. They're putting it in the books. Not just that, but inappropriate things. Did you all remember the book that I told you all about the salty nuts? Hold on. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on, this is all inappropriate. A book for children about salty nuts. It's for preschoolers. Tony, put Tony's nuts in your mouth. That's the name of the book. That's the name of the book. And I want y'all to pay attention. I'm going to let you hear some of it. Hold on. This is all egregious. And this is what they give it to your kids. Now I want y'all to listen to the name of the book is Put Tony's Nuts in Your Mouth. Pay attention. I'm going to the Facebook video where somebody's literally reading it.
Nuts stuck down in their throats.
Tonight's reading, put Tony's nuts in your mouth. Tony has big nuts and small nuts. He has pecans and walnuts. Nuts without or with a shell. There is no nut that Tony does not sell. Oh, Tony. Tony sells his nuts all day. He always has a line. Oh, look, there's Spank the monkey. We read about him last night. Some say Tony's nuts smell great. Disgusting. Some say they taste divine. They drive or walk or ride the bus. They come from north and south to taste those hot and salty nuts and put them in their mouths. Tony dips his chocolate nuts until they are just right. He knows your... I'm sorry. He knows your mom will take them home and suck on them tonight. Oh, it's her phone number. BJ looks at Tony's nuts and tries hard not to stare. As Steven grabs at his nut sack and finds a big old pair. Colossal, huge, warm and round. Oh, BJ plays with Tony's nuts in the closet at his house. Grandpa says he should just come out as he pops one in his mouth. Grandpa likes to go in there and take his camera with him. He loves to look at photographs when Tony's nuts are in them. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. He swears it isn't weird or queer. He says it's not a crime. Grandpa licks the salt right off of Tony's nuts sometimes. It's a picture of a beaver. Oh, the girls too like Tony's nuts. Of this there is no doubt. Every girl around this town has put them in their mouth. On the way to school today, riding on the bus, the Johnson twins were in the back sharing Tony's nuts. Back and forth they open up, hoping that they don't get those big and tasty nuts stuck down in their throats. I'm sorry, guys. I did not pre-read this one. Even Mrs. Boldyke, the softball coach, and her special friend will have a go at Tony's nuts every now and then. There really is no argument. Mount Rushmore ought to be. Oh, a monument of Tony's nuts for all the world to see. Da, 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 da. Tony's nuts. The end.
Her laughing was getting on my nerves. I don't know why she thinks that's funny. It's not funny. That's grooming children with that. It was written for preschoolers. Okay, and yes, they were talking about walnuts, peanuts, and all sorts of regular nuts, but that's not how they were intended for it to seem and sound. And pay attention to some of the key words and phrases that is in there. They talked about there's nothing weird or queer. Okay, clearly promoting LGBTQ. Another thing is The part where she read about him hiding in the closet, eating the nuts, hiding in the closet. You know how they say somebody's in the closet? And then the grandpa said he needs to come out of the closet. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention to the slick subliminals. And then they had a picture of a beaver, and you know they call a woman's DJ a beaver. So just pay attention. This is all just disgusting to be giving this out here for children to read. Grooming 101. Grooming 101. Because you start telling them stuff like that when they're preschoolers, letting them hear stuff like that, and then when they get just a little bit older, like a year or so later, and then some pervert comes and says something to them, and they're not talking about walnuts and peanuts, then they may just think it's okay. That's what that's all about. That's what this is all about. Then talking about them getting stuck in throats and nut sacks and all of that. That's what y'all pay attention. Also discussing, this is the world we live in, Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon. With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Yes, it is discussing, absolutely, okay? Lady E said simply nefarious, yes. Okay, so everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Now, don't forget, for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, we're going to be on there today at 6:15. I'm going to say 6:15 because it's really supposed to be 6, but y'all know the Queen's always late. So 6:15 on the spiritual channel. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoys the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got